Hollywood has a famous cultural wound. Silent films vanished. The Library of Congress says about 70% of American silent features are completely lost, and fewer than 20% survive complete. Games were supposed to be safer. Digital files. Perfect copies. Eternal stores. Then the Video Game History Foundation measured 1,500 U.S. releases from before 2010 and found only 13% are still legally in release. But that is not the strange part. Start with the number. In July 2023, the Video Game History Foundation and the Software Preservation Network published a 40-page study of 1,500 games pulled from Moby Games. Their finding was not fuzzy. 87% of classic games released in the United States before 2010 were out of print. Only 13% were represented in the current marketplace. That means the legal shelf is not missing a few oddities. It is missing almost the whole medium. The comparison is brutal because film is the warning everyone already understands. The Library of Congress counted 10,919 American silent feature films released from 1912 through 1929. About 70% are completely lost. Only 14% survive in the original 35mm format. Games are different. Most are not physically gone. They are legally unreachable, which is a quieter kind of disappearance, and for players it feels almost the same. Here is how a game becomes unbuyable without a scandal. Nintendo opened the Wii Shop channel in December 2006. It closed for new purchases on January 30th, 2019. After that date, WiiWare and Virtual Console games became a private museum, visible if you already had the ticket, closed if you arrived late. Nintendo still allows re-downloads for now, but its own support page says that will end at a future date. Then the same thing happened again, bigger. On March 27, 2023, at 5 p.m. Pacific, Nintendo ended new purchases on the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS eShops. Free demos ended too. The VGHF study says only 5.87% of Game Boy family games were still in print as of April 2023, and another 6.5% had been available on those eShops before they closed. One switch flipped, and a big slice of portable history left the legal market. Licenses are the next trap. Forza Motorsport 7 launched as a polished, modern Xbox racer. Then Forza support said it was removed from the Microsoft Store and Game Pass on September 15, 2021. The usual reason for racing games is licensed cars, tracks, music, and brands. The point is simple. A game can be technically fine, popular enough to remember, and still vanish because the paperwork expired before the culture did. Music can do the same thing. Spec Ops. The line came out in 2012, and it is still discussed because its war story actually had teeth. In January 2024, 2K confirmed it had been removed from online storefronts because several partnership licenses were expiring. If you bought it, you could still download it. If you discovered it after the license clock ran out, the legal door was closed. That is not preservation. That is a receipt lottery. PT is the nightmare version, almost too perfect. Konami released the free PlayStation 4 teaser in 2014. It was removed from the PlayStation Store on April 29, 2015, after Silent Hills collapsed. Game Informer reported Konami confirmed it could no longer be re-downloaded. So one of the most influential horror releases of the 2010s survives legally on old PS4 hard drives, as long as nobody deletes the wrong 1.37 gigabytes. Servers can erase ownership faster than stores. Ubisoft delisted The Crew on December 14, 2023. It stayed playable until March 31, 2024. After that, Ubisoft said the servers would be shut down and the game would not be accessible on PC, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Amazon Luna, or Ubisoft Plus. Not multiplayer reduced. Not features missing. The game stopped being playable. A boxed copy became a souvenir. Even when the cartridge works, the world around it can die. Nintendo ended online play and other network functions for Wii U and 3DS software at 5 p.m. Pacific on April 8, 2024. That includes online co-op, rankings, and data distribution. Street Pass still works because it is local. Spot Pass does not, because it needed Nintendo's servers. A game is not just code anymore. It is code plus an account system plus a machine in a data center somebody no longer wants to run. Sometimes the publisher owns the game and still cannot simply bring it back. Tetsuya Nomura said the original Kingdom Hearts data was lost, so Square Enix had to dig data out of retail copies and recreate material for Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. Konami had a related problem with Silent Hill HD Collection. It used incomplete code because the final versions of Silent Hill 2 and 3 were not what Konami had on file. The archive failed inside the companies themselves. Now comes the part that makes preservationists grind their teeth. Under DMCA Section 1201, breaking digital locks is generally unlawful, even for uses that may otherwise be non-infringing. Libraries and archives can preserve games under narrow rules, but the VGHF says they cannot digitally share preserved video games the way they can with some other media. In 2024, the U.S. Copyright Office refused the request for remote research access to out-of-print games. The legal archive stayed locked in the building.